Hello everybody, it's Charlie again, and I'm currently playing Spider-Man Miles Morales. And this game is one of the exclusives that came out with the PlayStation 5 when it came out. At the time I could not get it, unfortunately. It took me something like I think 2 years to get the PS5, but I'm happy that I went through this whole game. I do have a playlist on it, and basically this will be the review in 2023 of this game. See if you guys still want to play it, and the reasons as to why you should play it. But yeah, other than that, let's get into it. Hope you guys enjoy. What's up, guys? So right now I am gonna review Spider-Man Miles Morales. It's a game that I really enjoyed. Unfortunately, not as much as Spider-Man PS4. I thought that one was better story-wise because this one's kind of short. But I did like the characters in this one. I like the landscape, the fact that it's snowing. I think it's great. New York looks way better, obviously. It's a newer game. Miles is a pretty cool character. He's a lot different than Spider-Man. His culture is different. I believe he's black and Puerto Rican. So his whole background is completely different. Even the atmosphere, so it doesn't feel like the same old Spider-Man thing. It's a whole different thing, which I did enjoy. But now in 2023, is it worth playing? Yes, it is. Of course it is. It's a game that has new traversal. I mean, the traversal feels similar, but it has kind of new mechanics. Miles doesn't use as many gadgets because he has additional powers that Peter does not have. Which is basically electrical and camouflage, which is almost draws him invincible to anything, which is really cool and interesting the way you can utilize it. As you can see, some of the special moves I'm showing right here. I really enjoyed this game. Like I said, the biggest con is how short it is, but still not short enough to be considered a DLC. It is still a fully fledged game that I would buy. Obviously came out I think at $40 or $50 maybe. Anyways, it was an exclusive, and I think it still is an exclusive. Might be on PC, I don't really know. Now that PC's like sharing the games with us, you guys know what I mean. Anyways, the point is that the fighting is really fast, really amazing, feels great. The atmosphere, kind of, you feel like you're completely absorbed by your environment. You could change also, I forgot to mention, there's 3 graphic settings. I believe fidelity, performance RT, and performance. And they all offer something different depending on what you're looking for. Me personally, I like to play in performance RT because it kind of gives you both of both worlds. It's a good balance. I think it's right up there at 1440p at 60 frames with RT. But I think it drops to like 45, something like that, between 45 and 60. Point is, it gives you the best amount of frame rates. 1440 is pretty damn good. I think performance is checkerboarded 4K with 60, but you don't get the RT, the ray tracing. And then fidelity gives you the ray tracing and full 4K, native 4K. But the cool thing about this game, aside from the graphic settings, and it's all up to you which one you want to choose, is that Miles does feel different from Peter. That's the main thing. The story isn't cliche. It is a new kind of story. It's not what you expect. At first you expect something, and then you're like, okay, I like where they're going with this. They could have taken a little more time to flesh out the characters to kind of fully, let you know who they are, basically. But even though they didn't do that, it was fine. It's just, it leaves you wanting more, basically, Aside from all that, I would like to say that the enemy variety is pretty damn cool. You do feel a challenge, but one of the best things is this right here. The outfits, guys. It's so good. Okay, his variety of outfits, even though he doesn't have as many as Peter in this game, they're really cool. Some of them, not so much, but like this one, for example, the tracksuit. In the first clip, I showed the original suit for the game, and then here's the tracksuit, which is one of my favorites because it kind of blends in with the whole snowy terrain. And I just like also the tricks you can do in the air when you're flipping, kind of like you did with Peter in the first game. But Miles has his own style, his own flavor to it, because he's a different person, But Miles is also just not as dark as Peter. You know what I'm saying? Miles, he also has a pal that hangs out with him. His name is Danky, or Danky, and he's basically the guy in the chair for like. It's very similar to Tom Holland dynamic with his friend. I forget his friend. I can't remember right now. But anyways, you guys know what I'm talking about, the Filipino kid, and that dynamic works so good because he's basically the one that shares the identity with him, or Miles shares it with Danky, and it kind of makes the whole game flow better, in my opinion. I just think it's fun. It's great. He technically has a love interest, but I don't want to spoil it if you guys haven't played it. The reality of this game, though, is that more could have been done. So it kind of feels like, I'm gonna be honest, it's right around the 8 terrain, I think, out of 10, because it gives you enough, and it's considered a great game, but the length is a big deal for me. It does have in-world activities. I did platinum this game. It's not that hard to platinum. It's just a little bit of time you have to take, and but overall, good package. Very worth the money, especially now. It should be on special. I don't think it's full price, and even if it is, it should be like around $40. But overall, even the map, obviously you get New York again, it's just there's less things riddled. So if you don't like fetch quests and stuff like that, there's less of that here. It's kind of like straight to the point type of thing. I think another cool thing is fast travel in this game is non-existent, as you guys saw in that clip. It's just the SSD so fast. This is meant to work perfectly with the PS5. That costume right there is one of my favorites. It's Prowler's inspired outfit. You know what I'm saying? And I really love it because it's just completely different from all the other outfits. I think it even has claws, but you unlock that eventually throughout the story. I think one of the biggest things that the game doesn't mention is how much you're gonna really like kind of the way everything goes along. It has a different pace, a different rhythm than Peter's story in Spider-Man PS4. I haven't played Spider-Man remake, or not remake, remaster for the PS5, but I do have it. I will be doing a playthrough on my channel of that. But also, the way you utilize camouflage, I don't know why I forgot to put in the clip. Basically, is the electrical powers of what you'll be using the most. You literally sometimes forget you can go invisible. But I think the invisibility thing kind of makes it a little bit too easy. So I think that's why I didn't get used to using it. I like to play games on hard usually. I think that with the only exception being the Dark Souls games. I play those on normal, sorry. But Souls-like games, I'm not really good at them. I think at some point, whenever I get Elden Ring or something, and it might not be so bad, but as for Spider-Man, the difficulty is not that terrible. So I would recommend putting it on hard. Obviously, this is my PS Plus playthrough, so it's the second time around. Stop vehicles, same as Spider-Man PS4, stuff like that. If you've never played Spider-Man PS4, I recommend you try it. Or if you want to play this one first, it does connect directly to the last story, so you may want to play with that one. But luckily, they're separate stories, so at the same time, it's not a big deal. But there is some stuff that kind of connects it together. So I'm giving you a heads up ahead of time, because you may spoil it for yourself. Anyways, as you go in here, there's some of his gadgets and upgrades. There's quite a few that I really enjoy. But there's not that many, okay? There's not that many. Miles relies mostly on his powers. He's very inexperienced as Spider-Man because obviously he's not Peter Parker. He hasn't been Spider-Man for that long, And luckily he does have a mentor, Peter Parker, which is what I said that it connects to the last game. But I don't want to tell you how they made it or anything like that or how that happens. Here is basically this thing where you find out what missions you have through the internet, which is very nowadays type thing, and you can find out the weather in New York and all this. It's pretty cool. People leaving messages because Spider-Man has a fan page. It's basically like a Facebook, I'll be honest. It's like a Facebook. But there is train stations, there is all the stuff that you have in the other New York City, so you're gonna recognize it. But the snow factor is what kind of makes it feel different, There's people ice skating at Central Park when the lake freezes over, when the water freezes over. I don't know if it's a lake. I've only been to New York twice, and I don't remember. and I didn't really get to see all of Central Park. But like when you have several enemies at once, you could choose to fight them one-on-one, or basically use some of his best abilities. His best abilities come a little bit later in the game, but his abilities like this one is insane. It makes it a little bit too easy, so I'm glad it was towards the end of the game, because you can literally clear out all kinds of issues with just that move. And sometimes I don't feel like fighting them, and I'm just like, I'm in a hurry, I'm doing something else, and I will use it right away. And I just feel like I'm cheap about it, you know. I feel like it's kind of cheap, but you know, it's not a big deal. This here is the advanced suit, one of my favorite suits, if not my favorite suit. His advanced version of his suit looks very similar to his original black and red, except this one has more like a techie feel. The material is tougher, and if you take a good look at it, you'll notice that, and at night it looks really cool. It probably looks better than the regular one at night. And then you have these signs. There's basically gangs on one side against this whole military group, and they're both that. Okay, so eventually you have to go up against both. I don't want to tell you how you go up against both, but yeah, I think I'm gonna stick at around at 8. I wanted to give it an 8.5 because I really did enjoy it. I do like the characters; they're really interesting. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stay at around an 8, maybe 8.5, around there, guys. Overall, the stealth takedowns are cool. He's a little more clumsy than Peter. Like I said, he hasn't been Spider-Man that long, so you'll see him stumbling a little bit, and you know, it's really perfect for who he is. It fits his character, and I think you may enjoy this story. Some people enjoy this story more, but because it's so short, it's more forgettable. It's, you know, it doesn't have the memorable enemies that you guys remember. It has likenesses to something that maybe reminds you of like older Spider-Man stories and stuff. Obviously, Miles Morales was created in the 2000s, so he's a fairly recent character. You know, I think 2006 or something like that. I mean, not that recent, right? It's almost, I don't know, 20 years, because we're close to 2026, like 3 years away. Regardless, I do recommend this game. I think you're gonna have a good time. And I've heard people 2023, believe it or not. I know some of you are like, well, why is he reviewing this? Well, I'm reviewing a lot of good games that people may have never played or got to because of the shortages, like the PS5 shortage. And I think that after thoroughly playing this game and platinum in it, it's worth buying. Here, the characters are obviously shown, and Rhino and all this, they show you dossiers on them, and it's just a really good time, guys. So when you get a chance, pick this one up or try it out. If you have a membership for PlayStation Plus, it should be there for extra and premium. I would recommend extra though, guys. Trust me. It's a little bit cheaper and it's more worth it. They don't have enough classics yet for premium. I hope that changes in the future. But yeah, here it is, the Prowler among other characters, and the character design is amazing. And here is the way to do some of those moves, which is also really cool. And yeah, guys, but other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and end it right here. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe when you get a chance, and like I always say, go game.